a game. What a game that was, guys. The Las Vegas Aces are something else. They just completed, okay? They just defeated the Minnesota Lynx. The Las Vegas Aces did at the Las Vegas home court in Las Vegas, Nevada. Guys, this is the 13th win. The Las Vegas Aces is currently on a 13 winning streak. They just won all 13 games that they just played consecutively in a row. That got to be like some sort of new WNBA record. I'm not sure. But the Las Vegas Aces have turned it around. Now, mind you, the last 13 games, prior to them winning those last 13 games, the 14th game that they had, 14 games ago rather, that they played, they had got defeated by the Minnesota Lynx at their court, at the Las Vegas Aces home court, that is in Las Vegas, Nevada. The Las Vegas Aces got beat down so terribly by the Minnesota Lynx last month in early August. That's when we saw Napheesa go down with that ankle sprain, right? The Minnesota Lynx beat the Las Vegas Aces at the Las Vegas Aces home court by 53 points. And in that post-game interview, I recall A'ja Wilson saying to the press, to the people, to her fans, she said, "This is an embarrassment. This tonight was embarrassing." She said, "There's no excuses." She said, "I take all accountability for how poorly we played. We had a piss poor performance in what we displayed in today's game of fundamental basketball." She said, "We did not give that to the people." Okay, she said, "Listen," she said, "I had a talking with my teammates in that locker room." She said, "If y'all play like this again," it was something along the lines of like, "If y'all keep playing like this again, don't even bother to show up." She's like, "If y'all ain't gonna give it y'all all 100%, not 10%, not 20%, but 100% each and every night for practices and games, don't come back to this facility." Obviously, the women on the Las Vegas Aces, everybody else, okay, all the women on the team that A'ja Wilson had talked to, they got the message because they just won 13 games in a row. They just beat the Minnesota Lynx by 10 points. That's a blowout, in my opinion. Anything that's 10 points or above is a blowout. So yes, first the Minnesota Lynx did blow them out. They beat them by 53 points. But today, the Las Vegas Aces decided to get their lick back. And you already know I was rooting for the Las Vegas Aces. I'm like, they're already on that 12th game winning streak. I'm like, let's keep it up. Again, I'm so excited for, I don't want to rush the season, okay? It's already coming to a close, of course. The playoffs is less than 2 weeks upon us. But for the semifinals and finals, I got to get a Vegas versus Minnesota matchup. Either it's going to be Minnesota versus Atlanta or Minnesota versus the Las Vegas Aces, okay? The Las Vegas Aces is looking good. They done turned Nelissa Smith around. She's improved so much. She's done great job, okay, being a Las Vegas Aces. Hell, they got me rooting for Dana Evans. I couldn't stand that heifer last season when she was on my Chicago Sky. Dana Evans was moving and grooving. She looks more confident. She was more versatile. She looked like she wasn't hogging the ball. She was still hogging the ball, but like not as much as she was last season with my Chicago Sky. She was giving it up when it was time to give it up. You know, she was putting up threes. I'm like, wait a minute. This Las Vegas Aces current team in this current season is dangerous. A'ja Wilson put on a show, guys. She was the leading scorer, of course, in tonight's game with over 30 points. I think it's clear. A'ja Wilson is the MVP. She has to win this season's 2025 WNBA season MVP. I wanted to go to Fee. I used to root for Queen Fee. Now, don't get me wrong, I still do, okay? I still got a lot of love and respect for her, as well as the Minnesota Lynx. Shout out to the Stud Buds. Okay, Napheesa Heidemann tried to save them in the fourth and final quarter. Still couldn't cut it, okay? But I want to do a video, more than likely tomorrow, all on its own, on the Stud Buds, both Courtney Williams and Napheesa Heidemann being featured in Vogue magazine. They was covered in drip, okay? They looked amazing in that spread. So I want to do a video about that probably tomorrow. But back to this game. A'ja Wilson put on a clinic, okay? At this point, I believe she's going to be named MVP for the fourth time, and I believe that she deserves it. It's like she'll win it rightfully so. Now, with Napheesa Collier, of course, she's still the queen. That's still Queen Fee. But at this point, it's like they just took 2 losses back to back. I believe just last week they lost to Atlanta Dream, and then they lost to the New York Liberty. Whereas the Las Vegas Aces, on the other hand, they didn't defeated 13, not 13, they didn't defeated teams 13 times consecutively in a row. They just won 13 games in a row. Whereas, again, the Minnesota Lynx, with or without Napheesa Collier, remember she was out for like 3 weeks due to that ankle sprain? They've been up and down, like the stock market. Okay, at this point, it's obvious that A'ja Wilson is the true MVP. Again, this game concluded with the Aces on top having 97 points to the Minnesota Lynx 87 points. So in the first quarter, Again, it was a good game, guys. They was going back and forth. In the first quarter, the Lynx would give up a 2, and then the Aces would give up a 2. The Lynx gave up a 3. The Aces, they were struggling with the threes, ain't gonna lie. But in that first quarter, Bridget Carlton of the Minnesota Lynx, Alana Smith of the Minnesota Lynx was putting at them threes. It wasn't until later on in this game when we see Asia Wilson dropping threes. Chelsea Gray, Jackie Young, Aaliyah Nye, Dana Evans, I believe even Kirsten Bell. I was like, what? Kia Stokes tried, but of course it bricked. I'm so sick of her. How is she still in the league? I don't know. Okay. But in the first quarter of this game, the Lynx put up 24 points, the Aces put up 26 points. The second quarter comes around, Lynx scored 20 points, the Aces scored 21. The third quarter comes around, the Lynx put up 22 points, Aces put up 23. And in the fourth and final quarter, the Lynx put up 21 points, and the Aces put up 27 points. Now let's break down the individual player statistics. Let's start with the losers first, okay? Me and the Minnesota Lynx. Bridget Carlton put up 9 points, had 1 assist, 3 rebounds. Napheesa Collier, Queen Fee, one of the queen of the league, she got stopped at just 12 points, 3 assists, 6 rebounds. Alana Smith had 13 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds. Alana Smith had 13 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds. Courtney Williams had 14 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Kayla McBride had 10 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. Carolyn Taylor had 0 points, 0 assists, 1 rebound. Jessica Shepard had 2 points, 1 assist, 1 rebound. Anastasia Alaari Kasu, really pretty girl, by the way. She's like half Nigerian, half Russian. They be calling her Ola. So cute. She couldn't do nothing with nobody on the Aces. She only put up 2 points, had 0 assists, 0 rebounds. Maria Kilnokova had 3 points, 3 assists, 0 rebounds. Jalen Sherrod had zeros across the board. And then Napheesa Heidemann, she was the leading scorer of the Minnesota Lynx, okay? She put up 22 points, had 5 assists, 6 rebounds. Shout out to Napheesa Heidemann. Shout out to the Stud Buds. Now on to the Lucky Aces, okay? Remember, this was like back in June. Yeah, I was on vacation for June 19th. I was in Hawaii. The Las Vegas Aces was getting cooked by any and everybody. I called them the Las Vegas Jokers instead of the Aces because they refused to get their mess together. They finally listened to me and got it together. Now, Asia Wilson put up 31 points. She had 2 assists, 8 rebounds. Kirsten Bell had 5 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds. She was in the starting 5 lineup. I don't know what is going on with Kirsten Bell. We roasted her so bad. People were saying, like, when we finally get the notification that the Las Vegas Aces cut her, we're going to all throw something on the grill to celebrate. She been cooking up so much so that she's now in the starting 5 lineup. I don't know what Becky got going on in her mind, but I guess it's working. Now, Leslie Smith, of course, she also improved. Put up 10 points, had 0 assists, 4 rebounds. Chelsea Gray had 13 points, 10 assists, 2 rebounds. Jackie Young had 20 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds. Dana Evans had 6 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. Jewel Lloyd had 6 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds. Aaliyah Nye had 6 points, 0 assists, 2 rebounds. Kia Stokes, of course, had 0 points, 0 assists, and 1 rebound. Asia Wilson ain't playing. Asia Wilson ain't giving up. Okay, she wants to be the league MVP for the 4th time. And I believe she's going to win. She's going to win it. And at this point, if the Las Vegas Aces keep this up, they're going to be a serious contender. They're going to bring serious competition to the Minnesota Lynx when it comes to gaining that title and that championship trophy. This is going to be interesting, guys. Again, tell me below in the comments, who do you think is going to win MVP? Asia Wilson or Napheesa Collier? In my opinion, it's just between those two. Yes, we got AT, Alicia Gray, and all that, but in my opinion, it's either going to be Asia or Napheesa. And at this point, again, I'm sorry, I got to switch up again. Give it to Asia Wilson. She is the MVP.